Hello everyone, I'm Tommy with Studio Sense. Welcome to my channel. With our current economy under the financial stressors and burdens of a pandemic, it's no wonder that all but the most necessary of purchasing is being done right now. Considering that, I thought it might be good that if I presented to you 5 cheapies, 5 very economical fragrances that are great for spring and summer. Now these 5 cheapies are meant to not break the bank, not hurt your pocketbook, and not set you back a ton of cash. And they are going to be designer fragrances because, of course, in the realm of niche fragrances, economical is not really a word that they throw around a lot. So these are going to be 5 economical, or what I term cheapie, fragrances that are going to be great for the upcoming weather and for the current situation that we're all in. In fact, that's the 3 criteria my fragrances today have to meet. They've got to be all-weather fragrances, they've got to be versatile for all situations that you can find yourselves in, and they've got to be very economical, aka cheap. So they've got to meet all 3 of those things, and I found 5 that do so. So stay tuned, I'm going to show those to you coming up next. Alright guys, welcome back. First up on my 5 cheapies for spring and summer was actually gifted to me by my good friend Ash from Jensen's, and I'm actually wearing it right now. It is Diesel Plus Plus Masculine. This fragrance was created by Arturetto Landi and it was launched back in 1997, and it has an absolute ton of notes in it. Even though there's 22 notes that went into the making of this, there are a few of them that actually stand out, and when you spray this on, you immediately get that orangey vibe to it. And then coming into the mid, you get more of a creamy sense of a creamy sweetness, which is attributable to the tonka. And then the nutmeg, the bergamot, and sandalwood all contribute to that oriental warmth. It is a warm, woody, oriental fragrance, and it's very, just like the name implies, it is very masculine. Even though it does have a sweet, kind of semi-gourmand flavor to it, it never crosses the boundary into gourmand. It's very nice, it's casual, it's versatile, it appeals to the younger generation while also appealing to people of any age. So it has that versatility that is part of the three things that are our criteria. It's got to be all-weather fragrance, which this is. It's got to be very versatile. This is a ton of versatility, and of course economical. Now the price tag on this is less than $20. This is a 75 ml bottle, which I believe is all that it comes in, 75 ml, which is kind of odd. Usually get 100 ml out of it. If you found it in 100 ml, let me know. I haven't been able to, but still at 75 ml, less than 20 bucks, fantastic deal. Now all the screenshots that I'm showing you are when this video was digitally created, and that was March of 2020. We'll just say March of 2020. So the pricing probably won't change tremendously, but it might vary a little bit depending upon when you're watching this. Second on my list of 5 cheapy designer fragrances for spring and summer that won't break the bank, Vince Camuto for Men. Now Vince Camuto for Men is a great all-around casual wear day and night fragrance that has decent longevity. This is a very well-known name and fragrance, and while I think it's been relegated mostly to the background, I think it's worth bringing back to the forefront and revisiting. I really like the fresh and woody vibe in Vince Camuto. It doesn't have like a playful vibe or anything like that. It's almost like down to business, but in a very casual way. To me, it's like a CEO who wears leather loafers and walks into the office in a blue jeans and a t-shirt. You know, you got to be, you're ready to talk business, ready to come up with some really good ideas, but you don't feel micromanaged. You don't feel under the thumb. You get that pleasant sense of power, because it's more like sharing power, and that's what this is. And it's that's that leather note that comes into play. Now I really like the leather note in this. It's not really a harsh leather, it's not too much, so it doesn't feel cloying, aka under the thumb, but it's also very nice modern leather. So it's like it fits into almost like a fougere. It's very aromatic, and I do like the leather. The leather stays the same from the open to the mid to the dry down, so that's good news for this. My favorite accord in Vince Camuto for Men is the leather note, and that's what it's known for. So great spring and summer. Leather often isn't a note that is bandied about in that kind of weather. This is a great opportunity. It's almost like wearing a light leather jacket or windbreaker for spring and summer. So it's good in semi-cool weather all the way into hot weather. So not necessarily a heat activated fragrance. I wouldn't wear it in the super summertime, like in the 80s and the 90s. Probably not the best. but still all around versatile. It still meets our criteria for versatility, wear, casual to formal, and for economics. You've got your bergamot, you've got black pepper, you've got lavender and nutmeg, and of course, my favorite accord, that very classy smell of leather. While this isn't a 100 ml bottle, this is 75, the price that's listed here is a 100 ml bottle. So as you can see, extremely affordable. So that third and probably most important match of our criteria. The third in our 5 cheapies for spring and summer designer fragrances is gonna sound kind of counterintuitive. It's a fragrance that you want to wear when you don't want to wear your signature fragrance. It's a fragrance you want to wear when you don't want to wear a banger like Creed Aventus or Paco Rabanne Invictus. It's a fragrance that you want to wear when you don't necessarily care about standing out. You know, it doesn't have any strange or weird accords in it. It's just extremely pleasant, something that you feel like you want to put on right out of the shower. It does have a little bit of a shower gel smell to it, but it's very pleasant. And that is Munshinwear's Penguin Premium Blend. This is a very heavy 100 ml bottle. You could almost bludgeon someone with this. It's literally an inch or more of glass on the bottom of this, if you can kind of see that. But the reason that I like Penguin Premium Blend, it has decent projection, decent longevity, and it does smell like kind of a shower gel freshness about it. But sometimes you want that. There are several fragrances that kind of have that, carry that soapy shower gel freshness. This is one of them. So why am I recommending it? Because it does smell good, and because now, especially with phrases that we're learning and touting like social distancing or self-imposed, well, not really self-imposed, more like pandemic imposed isolation, there are going to be days where you want to smell something and wear something that is fresh and clean but somewhat nondescript, right? It doesn't necessarily set you apart, or it doesn't say, hey, smell me, or hey, look at me. But it's a nice alternative to a body spray, and it still has that fragrance quality that you expect in a man's fragrance, a cologne. The bottle that I have says it is Premium Blend Batch number 2, and another reason that I really like this is because this fragrance was inspired by something that we can't do right now. It was inspired by a laid back, and I really love that phrase, laid back, a laid back coastal road trip with the windows down and the sea breeze freshly blowing in. So it does have aquatic notes, ozonic notes. It's got bergamot, it's got fresh lime peel, it has wild spearmint in it, it's got rosemary. It's very bright, it's very green, it's fresh, it's Mediterranean, and very effervescent. The opening is the best part of this, but the dry down is very pleasant. It does give you that dry, in the dry down you get that shower gel, kind of a soapy, somewhat aldehyde, extremely pleasant. It has quite a bit of appeal, but even so with all of that, it is a bit generic, but not generic in a bad way, generic in a good way. Again, for those days where you don't necessarily want to be recognized, but you just kind of want to turn a little bit introspective or introverted, but you still want to smell very fresh and very clean and very good, and you don't need or want to impress anyone but yourself. Often we wear fragrances for the smeller and not the wearer ourselves. This is when you want to wear something just for you. Penguin Premium Blend. When you need all of those things, and I think we all need those things right now, this is what I would turn to. And it's a great price, very economical, less than 20 bucks. And I'll put the screenshot here. Fourth on the list is a tropical favorite of mine. Even though the bottle is a little bit funky, it does have a great name that makes up for it, and that is Tommy Bahama's St. Kitts. Immediately recognizable in the short, rotund body, the bright purple bottle, and the gold lid. I guess it's purple, so some people that might be blue. It looks purple to me. It has a great fruity, tropical heart and presence, featuring notes like mandarin orange, lime, starfruit. And starfruit, if you've never smelled what starfruit smells like, it's like sweet and sour. It's almost like a combination of orange and pear and grapes all together. So you kind of have that sweet and sour, and actually it's what makes this super citrusy and super fruity, and then that lasts into the mid, but then the dry down, you get driftwood, sandalwood. There's all kinds of things going on in the heart and the base of this, but primarily what carries it is the opening. The opening is super pleasant. The dry down is nearly as pleasant. That's what really is awesome about St. Kitts. It's probably my favorite in the Tommy Bahama line. It's so fruity, so fresh. That starfruit makes it really unique, but it has all the right notes in the base as well to make it a nice, masculine, very sunny. It's often been called a tropical island vacation in a bottle. And when you smell this and it dries down on your skin, that's exactly what it makes you think of. It's the perfect kind of fragrance to wear in our current situation because you may not be able to get out and travel to the island of your dreams, but you can close your eyes, spray some of this on, and it'll make you feel good. Honestly, it is a feel-good fragrance. This is a 100 ml bottle. I got this personally at TJ Maxx. You can get it, I'll show you here, you can get it at, I think as a tester on clearance for under 20 bucks. One of the best tropical fragrances that you'll ever own, and it has really good longevity, really good projection. It is just a great buy. Last on our list of 5 designer fragrances that are cheap for spring and summer is a fragrance that I was a little trepidatious to get it when I first got it. It is a Hugo Boss fragrance and one of the lesser known. Now when I purchased the line of Boss bottled, which I have almost all of them, I've had it for a couple of weeks now and I've been pleasantly surprised, and that is Boss Bottled Sport. Now when you look this up online, for some reason they call it hashtag 6, as in number 6, on fragrance.net. And if you go type in number 6 at perfume.com, it brings up a completely different Hugo Boss fragrance. So just be aware that this is actually called Boss Bottled Sport. There are 100 ml bottles out there to purchase with roughly around 50 bucks, which isn't bad. This one is a 30 ml bottle, and for some reason that's all they have at fragrance.net. So that's what I got. And I happen to really like it. This opens up very bright, very energetic. In the mid, you get a little bit of a aldehydic, soapy, sudsy heart. And in the dry down, you get somewhat of a vetiveristic, I just coined a new phrase, vetiveristic, pungent. It's almost like vetiver is like a grass, right? So this almost smells like if you take soap, like a soapy, sudsy soap, and you mix it with warm green grass. That's almost like, green Irish Spring. So this is not dissimilar to green Irish Spring, but it doesn't smell like it wholesale. It is just very similar to it. Athletic smell. It's a very sporty, energetic smell, and that's what makes this last, and that's what I really like about it. Now this particular fragrance is heat activated, so I wore this when I worked out a couple of times with it, and it creates a perfect gym sillage trail. Heat adds an additional hour or 2 of longevity, as a lot of heat activated fragrances will do. It's a little bit high, it's just over 30 bucks, but it still qualifies as a cheapie on this list. Well guys, that's it for my 5 designer fragrances that are cheap for spring and summer. Are there more than 5 out there? There are a ton. I'm going to be bringing you more as the time goes on, and as the weather warms up, I'll still continue to bring you some lists of other favorites of mine, as well as some that I've just recently discovered and keep discovering. So thank you so much for always tuning in. I appreciate you stopping by. Please leave your comments below if you've experienced any of these, have any thoughts about them, or wish to add any additional fragrances that you yourself have recently discovered or are discovering. Thank you always for your support. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you next time.